Welcome, everyone, to the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. Today, we're going to be talking about overcoming burnout as a female entrepreneur with my special guest, Ellie Savoy. Hi, everyone. I'm Virginia Parsons, and I am your host of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show, and it is my passion to provide you, the entrepreneur, with a gold mine of inspirational tips, strategies, and advice to help you grow your business from none other than inspirational businesswomen in the know. And so I'm excited to bring Ellie Savoy and her expertise to you today. But first, I want to pause and thank you, the viewer, for being here. Whether or not you're joining us live or in replay, we know that your time is valuable. Well, you're going to get some valuable information today from Ellie, so stick around. But before we get started, I would love it if you would help us get the word out about this great interview. I'm going to play the preview trailer, which is going to show you all the different things we're going to be discussing today. And while I'm playing that, it will give you an opportunity to help spread the word on whatever platform you're viewing this on today. So you go ahead and do that, and we'll get started in just a moment. So you can see we've got some amazing information coming your way in just a moment. But first, I want to let you know the show is sponsored by hangout-marketing.com, where you can receive a complimentary live stream marketing assessment. Now, this assessment will only take you a couple of moments, and it really will help you recognize whether or not you're prepared to use live stream and video to brand, grow, and market your business and to set you apart as the expert in your niche. It'll only take you a couple of moments, so just go ahead and go to hangout-marketing.com if you're overseas, or if you're in the US, you can text pound success to 775-800-4179. Okay, let's get to Ellie. She's got such great information for us today on overcoming burnout. And you know, this is a challenge for women entrepreneurs or solopreneurs in general, how we balance our lives and still thrive both in the business world and in the personal world. So Ellie is a board certified holistic health coach, and her website is her name, elliesavoy.com. Here's what we're going to be discussing: 3 mistakes busy women entrepreneurs make that really can undermine their health and their wealth. And yes, Ellie's going to explain the connection there. Secondly, how to integrate daily health choices so that you can live vibrantly. And third, how to balance work, family, and health. So Ellie, unmute yourself, come on in and say hi to our audience.
Hi, everyone, and hi, Virginia. Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this, our interview today. I absolutely love this topic.
I agree, Ellie. I think it's a very important topic and something that I don't think is addressed enough in our busy lives, in our 24/7 connected lives, on these devices all the time. And I just think that what you're bringing to the table is an important thing to consider so that you can grow a business and thrive both in your business and in your personal life. So let's start with your background, because I know your background is fascinating. You just didn't become a holistic health coach overnight, and let alone being a board certified one. So I think you must have had a path that you followed that brought you from maybe not the most perfect health into the shining example of health that you are today. Would you like to share that with our audience?
Absolutely. Yes, thank you. So, yes, things changed for me in 2011. I'm a type A personality, go, 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 was raised to work hard, 110% with everything. You know, I'm proud of my work ethic, but all too often I would experience burnout and exhaustion. And that was a pattern of mine for at least 2 decades. And I was also a yo-yo dieter. So in 2011, my gynecologist gave me the news that I needed to have, well, 4 options after something that she discovered. And it was a hysterectomy, 2 other surgical procedures, or to do nothing. Long story short, I decided that I wasn't going to have surgery. I was going to heal my body naturally, which I did. And in doing that, part of the protocol was to eat 100% organic, to give up the booze. I was drinking wine most nights for a long time just as a way to decompress. And, you know, it's my reward at the end of the day. And I gave that up for a period of time. And really to decide what I could let go of physically and emotionally. And I was all in with this. My husband is and still is, was then and still is very supportive. We're kind of a team. And so I jumped all in. And what happened was in taking care of myself, I actually started to enjoy it. So that was the beginning of this path. And honestly, I haven't looked back since. And so because I changed my life so much, and I know this is a struggle for so many women, that I just decided that I want to make my mess my message. And so that's what led me to do the work that I'm doing now.
Make my mess my message. That's just so perfect. And, you know, I think that the reason I like to share how people got to where they are today is because I think we all go through challenges, whether or not they're physical, they're emotional, they're a combination of things. We all go through challenges, especially as entrepreneurs. There's so many things to balance. And so I think that when you share, that you had to make some major shifts in your own life, and you had some, some major health awakenings, that you took this to the next level and transformed your own life. And now, as you say, are making your mess your message. I think that's really inspirational in and of itself, because I know it's hard to make lifestyle changes that are permanent, that stick, and that feel comfortable over time, right?
Yeah. I don't even recognize the old me, actually. It really is night and day. And you know, I've been doing this now for 8 years consciously. So it's not like, you know, I had everything in order overnight, but it's been a journey and a process. And the more that I have, you know, I continue to learn, and it just gets easier. It's like anything, you know, if you haven't exercised in a while, it takes some time to build some fitness. So I just couldn't, I would never go back to my old life. If I would have, I would have done it already. So it really is a lifestyle, and that's the key to this kind of change.
Yeah, lifestyle is so important. And, you know, many years ago, in what I sometimes call a past lifetime, I used to teach fitness classes, all forms of fitness classes, from yoga to strength training, etc. And I used to say to people who don't exercise don't know how good they don't feel. And for sure, I think it takes 12 weeks of being consistent in order to develop a habit such as that.
Yes, definitely. It takes, you know, it doesn't take 5 minutes or, you know, 5 weeks to get ourselves into this place of really self-neglect instead of self-care. So it's going to take some time to change things around. So we have to be patient with ourselves.
Absolutely. Well, let's go into hot topic 1, and that is 3 mistakes that women make that undermine not only their health, but their wealth.
Yes, great. Well, I have to say this really isn't rocket science, but it is not wait. People are waiting for the right time, and the time is now. So, as an entrepreneur, we're often busy, working on a launch, creating content for something. There's always something coming up, and we always have these long to-do lists. And so we just think, well, we'll just do this. We'll just wait until, the kid, the son or daughter is in college, or until blah, 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 fill in the blank. And so it's always something that is over there. And I used to, it was in my old life, it was like, I could see myself over there. And it was almost like I was saying, Ellie, I see you there. I will get to you one day, but I just don't know when. And this is what I see with so many women today. It's something that they will get to. But the thing is, the time is now. It's not like something, we just have to make that decision that we're going to do it now, and we're not going to wait until we've got that endless to-do list complete before we actually jump in and start to make these necessary changes.
Yeah, okay. So not putting it off, and you're not having to have the crisis that you had to make the change. That's a lot of stress you don't need. What other mistakes are women making?
I like to say it's really, what I see a lot is compromising, which leads to lack of consistency. So we're often, as women, we are taught that we need to put everything and everybody else before ourselves. And that was me too, really big time, because I'm a giver. I like to do things for other people. And I still do that, but I do it with more awareness now. And so I would put my hand up for everything. And that meant that I would just be compromising my own self-care, which led me to not be giving myself the right fuel. If you think about our cars, the vehicles that we drive, we have to give them the right fuel in order for them to run properly. So it was almost like, I was putting diesel fuel in my body instead of unleaded for it to run properly. So what I did to be able to really embrace this was I set 3 non-negotiables at the beginning of this journey. And I don't really need them now because this is so natural for me, but it's a really good place to start for somebody who just wants to get into the game of taking care of themselves and not waiting. And so I had, it was, if I couldn't go and get my groceries, I would say no to whatever or whomever. If it was, I couldn't cook my meals or I couldn't do my exercising. And so those things now are just woven into my life. It's just something I do. And so setting some non-negotiables is a really good place to start, because there's always going to be that thing or somebody that's going to take our attention, take our time. And if we don't sort of draw that line in the sand and stop compromising and putting ourselves last, then we can't get that consistency going.
Yeah, so consistency makes sense. Consistency is what establishes habits, which then become natural, just a natural part of your life. So I would think that would be very important. But you make another really important point, and that is that you can't compromise. Now, here's where the conflict comes in that I see with women entrepreneurs. As you said, we're compromising all the time, because we're trying to balance. And we're going to go into this a little bit more in the next topic. But I think it would be helpful if you would share with women, what is the downside of not compromising as far as their business is concerned? How does this relate with these mistakes to their wealth? We've already talked about it from a health standpoint, but what about to their wealth?
Well, I believe, and for anyone who has lost their health, in any way or shape or form, we realize how important it is. And really our health drives everything. And we're not working, hard or smart or however we're working in our businesses so that we end up spending it in, healthcare costs or losing time from our work because we're laid up trying to recover from some illness or disease. So there really is a cost to it at the end of the day. I mean, I know some women that pull all-nighters, and we can never get that sleep back. We often think that, oh, we'll catch up on the weekend or something. But once we've lost that sleep, it's gone. And so we really do end up paying a price for it at the end of the day, because, you know, our families are going to be worried about it. If we can't, our health drives everything. It drives our businesses. It drives our activities, our hobbies. We can't travel if we don't have our health, right? So it's like there's a cost, a big cost, whether it ends up going to pay towards healthcare costs, or there's just some cost to not taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, health really does drive everything. And it's sort of like we take it for granted until something comes and, you know, sucks us in the face, so to speak, just like your doctor did. And suddenly it's like, whoa, I guess I should have paid attention to this a little sooner.
Yeah.
So that leads us into the next topic, and that is how to integrate. What did we say? How to integrate daily health choices for vibrant living. And I think that's the key. It's not just about integrating, it's about what is the outcome you want. And I would say all of us want to live vibrantly. And, you know, that is part of the reason we're entrepreneurs anyway. You know, we want to do it on our own terms. And part of those terms, I think, for all of us is we want to live a vibrant, fulfilled life. So how do we integrate all this, Ellie? Because it ain't easy, is it?
Right. Well, what's top of mind for me on a daily basis, which has been now for many years, is that I keep my health and happiness top of mind, because I never want to go back to the old Ellie. And so the way I've done that is I have made it a priority. So we have to, in order to create change, we have to do something differently, right? So what I suggest is that we think of it in terms of integration and not separation. Like I said, not something we're going to get to when we have the time, right? Because we have to, you know, it's like drawing that line in the sand and making a decision that this is an absolute priority, that we don't have to wait for that wake-up call or that, you know, 2x4, that we can actually decide today. We don't have to wait till Monday or the first of the month or the first of the year. We can start in the middle of the day, any day of the week. And so when we keep it top of mind, it is a mindset shift, right? It's got to be a priority. So as I mentioned with those non-negotiables, that is what's kept it top of mind for me. So one way, since we're working from home, right, we're not going out to a 9-to-5 job, that we're in our homes, so we can actually get into our kitchen. Now, one way to do that is, as a starting place, is to have a timer, and you know, set it maybe for every hour or every 90 minutes, and actually get up from your computer or, you know, up from your phone, whatever you're working on, and actually start to do some things that are going to be beneficial for your health. And then this will also help it to be for it to become consistent in your life, right? We're looking for that consistency to get that momentum going, so that once we do something, you know, several times, it becomes natural to us. It's not something that feels like a chore. I remember the days when it all felt like a chore to me. We used to eat out at least 4 nights a week. It was easier, right? But again, it can really play havoc on your health. So some examples could be like to go through your fridge and look at what you've got in there. Maybe you've got some food lurking in the back that's gone off. I mean, that was certainly my case. I used to buy stuff and didn't cook it because I was eating out too much and taking shortcuts. Or you can prepare some salad greens, right? You can wash some salad greens. Anything that will take like 5 or 10 minutes. You could get something ready to put in the oven for later on. Start your grocery list. Go for a walk even. Stretch. Or sit quietly and just be with your thoughts. Anything that will get you up and away from the computer. I had a client once who actually, when we were having this conversation, and she realized that she would run to the bathroom in her house, and then run back to her desk because she didn't want to miss a minute. And she wasn't even conscious of this. So it's we all do it, right? But we can actually, by making this a priority, by setting a timer or whatever works for you individually, to start getting the momentum going around, creating this healthy lifestyle that is integrated. It's not separate. We're never just going to say, I'm going to get to it on Saturday, and then something comes up on Saturday and it goes off the radar again. So this integration piece is really a game changer. It's amazing. And you don't need to book out 2 hours for yourself. Just leaving it in is going to be a game changer.
I so agree with you. And I'll tell you what, setting that timer has been a really key one for me, because it's so easy to get focused inward, and be working on something and concentrate and lose track of time. Yeah. And so now I have to admit, I'm not perfect about responding to the timer. Sometimes I put it on delay, and it really shows up. If I don't get up every 90 minutes, which is the timer I've set for myself, I notice my body gets stiff when I stand up. That's not a good thing, right? So, some of the things that I've integrated in, if it's helpful at all, I don't have it right now, but I have a Swedish ball. I sit on that and I will bounce on that to get some circulation going and the lymphatics going. I also will while I'm watching a webinar or something, I might get up and do, 25 squats, a few sets of 25 squats, or some push-ups on my desk. Or I think I told you about the nitric oxide dump that I do that takes 4 minutes and gets the whole circulation going. So those are things that are easy to integrate in, especially if you happen to be watching, a webinar or some kind of training. That's a good time to weave them in. Have you done some of those things too?
Yes, one of the things, because it's always top of mind for me now, and as I've already said, it's going to become easier the more we do it. So I eat quinoa for breakfast. I can't do the grains anymore. I eat all organic, but it's not to do with organic. It's just those granola that I used to love. My body doesn't like it anymore. So once I get low on the quinoa, I soak some, and then I cook it later in the day. It's just so easy. Those are the things we can weave into our day, instead of thinking at the end of the day, oh my gosh, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? So, food is just one piece of this puzzle. It's the exercising, the stretching, the moving. There's just so many pieces, but we have to get started somewhere. And so it is that mindset shift. We have to really want it. And that is the key piece. And I know deep down, we all want to feel good. We don't want to feel like we're just falling to pieces, or we fall into bed at the end of the day exhausted. I know that more women are really looking to feel great. And these are tips that can help us get there.
Yeah, very important for what we would say is vibrant living. Living at your ultimate and sustaining that even during periods of high stress. So topic 3 is how to balance this all. How do you balance your work, your family, and not leave your health out of the picture? Put them all into balance. I guess what I'm wondering is, what are some of the best tips that you have given your clients that have really transformed their lives in this area of finding balance?
Well, one of them that I want to share today is about being efficient with our time. So often I hear from women that they just don't have the time for themselves. They don't have the time to cook a meal. They don't have the time, right? Time is we're all busy today, and time is a precious commodity. So oftentimes, though, we're not aware of where we're spending our time. And even though we're busy and we're doing productive things, there are also things that we're doing that may not be so productive. Social media can be a real rabbit hole. I mean, we're busy posting, right? Creating our posts for the week and that kind of thing. But there's also times when we are just idly and mindlessly on social media. And sometimes people have discovered that they're spending at least 2 hours a day on that alone, which is a big chunk of time that they can spend doing something else. So what I like to suggest is that you grab a piece of paper and a pen and start jotting down everything that you do, whether it's in your business life. You can have a column for business and a column for personal. Make your columns and then just start jotting down. Now, this might not all come at once. It might take even a week, but it will include things like, laundry, watering houseplants, groceries, client time, creating your posts, whatever it is that you're doing, even home cooking. I hope that's in there too. Whatever you're doing, put it all down on paper. And then you can look at it and identify what you can delegate, what you can let go of, and what you absolutely need to do. And to spend your time on the things that you're really good at. And we all have things that we do, right, that we can delegate, and things that we do that we don't really need to do. So the awareness piece is really critical, because this day and age, it really is so important that we become aware of how we're spending our time and to become efficient with that time. Because literally, we could be working 24/7 these days. And me personally, I really don't like to work. I often do some bits over a weekend, but I'm not on. It's a big difference. So one of the things I do is with cooking, I batch. So I will, because we don't eat sandwiches and we eat, a lot of things for lunch that I cooked. We keep variety by having, like, maybe we have some chicken, some fish. I've got some salad greens washed up. I've steamed some vegetables, that kind of thing. So that's how I become efficient with my time as well, is to cook a bunch of things in one go. So batching is one way to look at how we can become more efficient with our time. And whenever I've shared this with the clients, it's actually it's been a big aha moment for them. They really weren't aware of where they were spending their time. And then we get to choose how we really want to spend our time.
Yeah, I think that logging your activities is a great idea. So all of you out there, this is a pack your bag moment. This is a tip you want to start working on right away. She said it might take up to a week because you do different things on different days, but log how you're spending your time and determine where you might be wasting it. Do you really need all that time on social media? I think not. And there are ways to be more efficient with social media, different posting tools, etc., that can really help with that. But boy, that is a time suck. Even though we all need it for our business, it really is a time suck. So log all of this, and then as Ellie has said, determine what you're good at and you enjoy doing. Do that and delegate the rest. If you don't have the help of a VA at this point, I don't know how anyone can be an entrepreneur or solopreneur without the help of a VA. That would be one of the first things I would be looking at. What I can delegate are the things that you do over and over again that you could teach someone else to do, that are not your brilliance, are not your main expertise. They're just tasks that need to be done. And as you find out where you're wasting all this time, you're going to, as she said, become more efficient and start to actually have more time to do the things that are important to you, that enliven you, that uplift you, and therefore are going to be more beneficial to your audience and your clients. So these are great tips, Ellie. I really appreciate them. Do you have anything else, kind of a brilliant breakthrough that one of your clients might have had as a result of working with you?
Oh my gosh. I obviously, as a coach and somebody that loves empowering other women to be able to live their best life, I absolutely love it when I get, when I work privately with the clients, I let them have access to me unlimited through text or email. It's often text these days. And so I love it when they're sending me their sort of breakthroughs on an ongoing basis. They don't even wait until the call. So, I have to think now what to share with you. Well, one of the recent, actually, it was just yesterday or the day before, I forget now, that one of my clients who was in the process of becoming more organized and more efficient with her time, which is what we're talking about. I'm a big proponent of using glass instead of plastic, right? Because there's chemicals often in the plastics, and that can affect our health and our weight as well. And so she had gone out and bought some different size glass jars, actually from like a thrift shop or something. And she got some really great stuff. And then she showed me these jars with the contents in them, like some seeds and nuts, that kind of thing. And so she feels like she's so pleased with herself. In England, we call it chuffed. She's so chuffed with herself that she's taken action. She feels like she's much more organized. She's proactive. She's in the game. She's making herself a priority. She's not waiting for that perfect time. Now is the time. And so, you know, I get many messages like that about whatever we've discussed on the call, how they've taken action. And actually, I also like to say to act as if your life depends on it, because it really does. We can't wait until we think we have the time. So yeah, find that way to become more efficient with your time, because it's going to pay you in dividends. Like, you know, as we age, we want to be able to do those things on our bucket list, right? So taking care of ourselves, making the time for ourselves is just going to, as I say, pay us back in dividends, like tenfold.
You know, what I would say is that this should become your mantra, or the mantra that you provide for your clients. And that is, now is the time.
Now is the time.
Now is the time. Just keep reiterating that, both verbalize it and think it. Now is the time, because otherwise it's too easy to find excuses to do something else, and now never comes. So now is the time. I hope you all find that helpful.
Yeah, because if we keep ignoring the signs, right? If we keep pushing through, we're exhausted, we're burnt out, but we just have to get that one thing done. We keep pushing. So if we don't listen to the signs, we're going to get that 2x4, right?
Yeah, so I agree. The 2x4 is waiting for you if you don't start making the mantra, now is the time, your mantra. So Ellie, you have a gift, and I think that people who are starting to get to know you and your approach might want to take another step with you. And this is a free step that they can take with you. I'm going to bring it up and show it to everyone and let them know how they can get your gift. But why don't you go ahead and tell them about it as well?
Yep, it's called 5 Simple Steps to Permanent Weight Loss, from a former yo-yo dieter. As I said earlier, I was a dieter, a yo-yo dieter, in fact. And since I got onto this healthy path, I haven't looked another diet in the eye. And my approach is about, when we make ourselves and our health a priority, the weight loss is a natural side effect. So I have these 5 simple steps to permanent weight loss, which, you know, it's there for anybody that would like to grab that. And start implementing that into their daily life, and really start switching the focus to taking care of ourselves on a daily basis. You know, I just want to say quickly that once we do this more and more, it just becomes as natural as brushing our teeth and getting dressed. It's just something we do every day. So, you know, let's get rid of that stress, get rid of those extra pounds, and really start feeling great.
Yes. And so if you want to pick up Ellie's gift, all you have to do is go to hmtips.com/Ellie gift, ELLIE gift, hmtips.com/Ellie gift. And you'll be able to pick up the 5 simple steps to permanent weight loss and be able to connect with Ellie on a little deeper level, because she is teaching from experience. She is teaching from her heart. And she wants you to know that you should stop dieting. Don't do it. They don't work. Boy, how many times have we heard this one, huh, Ellie?
I tried. Honestly, they work when we're on them, but once we stop, we're back to square one, because we haven't addressed this.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I really want to thank you, Ellie, for being here with us today. I just think you've brought such valuable information. We all want to be successful as entrepreneurs, don't we? But not at the cost of our health, not at the cost of, you know, not paying attention to our family, not at the cost of not thriving in your own life. So Ellie's just brought such great ideas to us. Ellie, do you have any final thoughts that you want to make sure that they take home with them today?
Don't wait. Jump in, pick something. You can do this. if you knew the old me, you would have never imagined, or I didn't ever imagine that I could have turned my life around to this extent. And just start, do it today. Don't wait. You are so worth it. And you are so worth feeling your best and looking the way you want to look. So please don't wait. Like I said earlier, act as if your life depends upon it, because it does. So go ahead, jump in, do something.
Act as if your life depends on it. Okay, Ellie, thank you again so much for being here. And if you want more information from Ellie, you can go also to her website, elliesavoy.com, and you'll be able to find out all about her different coaching programs. Ellie, thank you again for being here. And I want to thank all of you for being wonderful viewers. We appreciate you. Please share your comments and your thoughts. And if you found this information valuable, please help spread the word, and we will be sure to respond to any comments that you have. So lay them out there. Let us know what you're doing to get beyond burnout into a lifestyle that thrives. And we'll see you on the next Inspirational Businesswoman Show. Bye-bye now. Thanks so much for watching today. Do you know someone who would be a great guest for our show? Or would you like to be a guest on the Inspirational Businesswoman Show? Let's shine the spotlight on your expertise. We'll share your story while offering tips, strategies, and advice to our viewers. Expert interviews are a great way to build your reputation as the go-to expert. Go to shinetips.com/IBWS to apply today. Women are waiting for your message, and I can't wait to interview you.